Welcome to the Flivver Channel live stream. Tonight we have the usual collection of YouTube hooligans. Randall from the YouTube channel Shed by the Tracks. Randall is an honorary member of Possum Lodge and brings his unique blend of grandpa humor to our show. Randall's incredible home-built speedster, the Prairie Flyer, is a wonder. He claims to have designed it all in CAD, that's cardboard and determination. Rob's enthusiasm for Ford Model Ts and Model As is outshone only by his generosity to others. Rob's family are Model T people going back generations, and he is a wizard at repair and maintenance. Vince from the YouTube channel Baggett Corner. Vince focuses on stationary hit-and-miss engines, and more recently, restoring a fantastic original Ford Model TT truck. There's nothing he can't fix. And I'm Steven. My channel, Flivver Channel, focuses on the quirky characteristics of antique cars. I explore the fun and challenge of owning and driving a Model T, and the history of early automobiles. Thanks for joining us tonight. Feel free to comment in the chat. Ask us anything. We monitor the chat and will try to respond to most questions. Hey, there we are. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, guys.
It's
Hello, everyone.
November already.
It is. It is November.
Yeah, and welcome, Jason. It's been about 9 months since we had you on. Good to see you again.
It's good to be back.
Great. So we're pretty keen to hear how you've made out with your car. I know months ago you were just getting into Model T repair and restoration on it, and discovering interesting things about it. That's what we talked about at the last show.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into your update, you want to give us just the 2-minute summary for those who are joining us for the first time, about the car and when you got it, who you are, when you got the car, what's weird about it, and what your goals are for it, that sort of thing.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jason, and I live in Salt Lake City, and I had been looking for Model Ts for a while over the years, and then one day I started looking seriously at one, and I finally came across this little roadster runabout, and I jumped in both feet, and my wife said, "You really want another project?" So yeah, that's it. I bought a 1922, but there's a caveat to that statement. We'll get into it. Now that I know better, I know new things about the car. I really love the wood spokes and the old cars, and just wanted to do it. So finally, I did.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I remember it had some really odd wheels that were not Ford, and a few other interesting features. Are you working on a restoration or just repair and drive? What kind of?
I think at this point what I want to do is just if it's broke, fix it and put it back to its original placement. Yeah, whatever it was, and it needs to just go back to what needs to be. And one of the things is the wheels. The wheels have become less of a priority because I think it's not the wheels. I think it's the rear end.
Okay, that are.
So what we talked about
grief.
was I had some serious wobble, right?
Yeah.
And I took the wheels off and set them on a flat surface and measured the rim around, and there wasn't any variance there to speak of. So anyway, I just have dug into this and got started. And this year I've done. It doesn't look like much, but I've done a lot.
Yeah, I know you and I have been talking on and off over the course of the year, and be interesting to share some of the surprises you found and some of the challenges you overcame.
Yeah. So I started with the wheels. I I repacked the bearings, put new seals in, tried to figure out this wobble, and that was the first thing. That was back. I started at the end of March, looking at the wheels. I had the pleasure of trying out the split rim and pulling it apart. I pulled that apart to fix the problem where I couldn't get to the valve, the valve to air up the tires. So I had to slide the tube around. I figured that out, and I went to a specialty shop and asked for really long adapters so I could, I have like a 3-inch adapter on the end of my valve stem now, so I can just get in there and it's not a
Like
problem.
the truckers use, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I went looking in search of. I tried shimming up. Those are the shims that we just saw those pictures. I tried shimming up everything. And this, I thought, oh, this isn't too bad. With pulling these wheels off, once you get it started, I started to get a little more aggressive with it, thinking, oh, it doesn't really spring back. It's not really springing back. And I tried to make it slip to see what would happen, and it didn't seem to really spring back until a little bit later, and then it did. I was still careful, and then it can grab your fingers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really cranked on that thing, and I knew it was going to be a puzzle, and I worked through it and managed to get those tires off. It's not quick.
No, it's time consuming. Randall's got a good video on that process and all the
I think I've seen it.
dangers. Yep.
I watched it. I watched it when this whole thing started.
These are big tires you've got too. You're going to be able to run these down at like 15 or 20 psi. I'm sure it'll ride nice.
Yeah, but now I can finally put air in them, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. And then let's see. I kind of made notes from my photos. Kind of looked at my photos from throughout the year. What did I do? So first thing off, I had to replace the battery. Got the wheels. Decided it's not so much the wheels. I think it's the rear end.
Mm-hmm.
Although I can't, I haven't really dug into it, but it probably, everything on the car needs something, and so it's probably worth disassembling that rear end. But and it's a Ruxel. It's a Ruxel rear end, so
it's valuable and
I was reading that you can take out the drain plug and stick your finger in there and see if you can fill pieces of Babbitt. I'll answer this question. No, I don't think. There's a video I sent you. Have it. It's called the Smoking Model T.
Yep, I've got it.
So
here, let me play it, and then you can add your.
So this is that's me not adjusting the needle on this thing. I put the carburetor in and just fired it up, and the car fired right up, and it was just smoking so bad and running so rough, and I was like, what is going on? Why is this so bad? I just cleaned all the spark plugs and new wires and basically a tune-up and did all this stuff, and it was smoking so bad. And I just kind of stood back in the smoke and thought, oh, I didn't adjust the needle on the carburetor. So I went over there and dialed it down and kind of closed it down, and then started fixing it right away. And then I shut it all the way off, closed the needle, opened it back up, got about a full turn maybe, and it started to run. And then the smoke, in another video I have where it's running, there's no very little smoke.
That's pretty good though.
And
fired right up. Yeah.
So I was like, what did I do? So as for altitude, just adjust that needle, I guess. But it ran, it was running pretty good considering the shape of the engine. It needs a valve job, I'm sure, and a new head gasket. So I'll jump into that one day.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising, Jason, how little it takes to get them to run. I mean, with 4.5 1 compression, it takes almost nothing at all.
Yeah, in fact, you're right. So there's some pictures in there of me. I cleaned the spark plugs. Well, this is how I got into this summer. By the end of April, I was kind of, I didn't. Spring was coming on, and I didn't have a lot of cash for that right now, and I kept looking at it, and I pulled the carburetor off sometime in the summer, and I sent Steven an email because he had done a carb rebuild, and so I was looking at that. Well, the first thing I did was replace the fuel line, and I wasn't getting any gas to the engine. I even tried to drive it away, thinking, okay, we'll make some adjustments on the fly, and I wasn't getting any fuel out of the fuel line. It's a brand new fuel line. This shouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the float needle wasn't working properly. And so I could see that. And I sent Steven a thing and an email and asked him. And then he's like, your float needle looks okay. And then I turned the float needle over and took a picture, and you could see where it had been broken out the side.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I was like, okay, so it's letting fuel in there, but it's leaking. So it was leaking out the carburetor continuously, but then I wasn't able to. I just wouldn't. I don't know what was wrong.
Yeah.
I just gave up. So I started the side project all summer of playing with this carburetor, gathering up the parts, and I decided, because I'm doing it anyway, of removing that nozzle. And once I finally got it out of there, I had some help. Once we got it out of there, I looked at the nozzle and I'm like, well, this nozzle is totally fine. Shouldn't have done it.
Right.
But I'm in it now. So
You're in there now, yeah.
Yeah, and I tried to hand drill that out, and I was so nervous about hitting the threads. So I took it to a friend who had a machine that could find dead center, and
Yeah.
he cleaned that out to the point that I could pick out a couple threads, and then I did exactly what Steven did in his video, and this is the bottom of that nozzle. It's best I could take a picture of it.
Yeah, I think Steven and I both had issues with seats before, where I think I use heat and an easy out, and yeah, Steven, you had a tool that you made up.
I made up a tool for mine,
Yeah.
turned it in the vise.
I know. I thought I
Just got lucky, maybe.
I almost thought about, like, maybe I should download those CAD drawings and get to work on that, because this is not
Nice.
working.
I figured it wouldn't be my last one, so and I was trying to do 3 at a time, so I figured it was
Yeah,
worth it.
it's a great video. What a great resource. I mean, it's really awesome.
The
Yeah,
It's
nice
funny 'cause-
thing is there's so many of these out there, right? That you can get parts. There's parts available. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's not going to break you. It's going to be okay.
No, yeah. So finally, this started, and I wasn't too worried. I was doing other things with the car. This is one of the last pictures I took of it. You notice that staple. I bought some staple from Lang's and put it through.
Oh.
For some reason, this side, I could not get the staple through the holes. And you see how short it looks like a cleat.
Yeah, I
see
Normally
that.
those staples come all the way together and almost touch.
I thought you did that for flow performance.
No, that's just how that works. But the other side, I started, and I couldn't quite get it. I said, okay, well, this is the hard one. I'll come back to that in a minute. And that wasn't the case. I ended up pushing that staple right in, bending them over, and I spent like 2 nights trying to get this to work. And had to just go back and clean it. I'd used a razor blade to clean out, the brass center. I used that to scrape out the inside and just make sure those holes were lined up. And then I went finally and got some drill bits to match the holes.
Yeah.
Pushed them through there a couple times. And I sanded down the points, the ends of the staples to make them more pointed to guide them.
Okay, yeah, that's smart. That's good.
So I was like, well, they're just going to be outside anyway. So kind of, I need a spud wrench. Push this through and line up these holes.
I gotta tell you, I envy you, Jason, because at this point, you're discovering all these things that you didn't know in the past, and you're kind of coming up against all these problems and you're solving them. And then, but the thing is, you don't know the things that are important and the things that are really don't, the things that don't matter and the things that are really important. but you're discovering all these things as you go, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Age of discovery.
The first time is 10 times the effort of the
Exciting, right? And you're nervous and all that stuff.
Yeah. That's it. And and I don't want to have, so what happens is through the course of the year, I'll work on disassembly, discover the parts I need, order the parts, and a week later I can finish that project. Because
Yeah,
And
after
so
you
I would-
modify all the parts, because all
Yeah,
these
right.
aftermarket parts don't fit.
right, they're very close, but not quite.
They never fit.
So that was the thing.
Can I backtrack here a little bit? My mic, we're all turned off there, but I was noticing the spokes, and I think we talked about the spokes last time.
Mhm.
Why were the spokes so big on those wheels?
They're from some heavy duty truck.
They
They're
were,
not
right?
Ford. They're not Ford wheels.
They're not-
They're-
They were.
they're- I think there might be an Oldsmobile, some kind of Oldsmobile truck, or a Nash maybe.
Man, they're substantial, aren't they? Holy
They
cow.
are heavy duty. So as long as they're going to roll straight, I'll probably continue to use them.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, yeah. Well, with those big tires, it's going to ride and handle really nice. I found that.
Yeah, and that, and I'd said, I like Randall's Speedster, so I'm gonna, his Speedster is really nice, and I thought, well, when I finally do get wheels, I'll just move these to one or the other. Is another? It's a working set of wheels,
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think we all, by the way, wish that Randall would build another Speedster just so we could watch him build it. So
Here.
yeah.
I have a donation page.
Yeah.
Are we able to earmark
working?
that? If we make a donation, we can earmark it. This is for
Oh, yeah.
Flyer 2.
for the Speedster
I'll
too.
do, I'll do anything for $1.
But
Those,
yeah,
You
so
talking of, whoop, I think
Oh,
you-
go
Oh,
ahead.
Mike, but
talking
yeah,
about
so-
those staples that
yeah, the staples.
hold that in there and you had such a time with them. When I bought a little kit for my Model T, when I redid the carb, I threw those staples as far as I could throw them. And I used smaller diameter wire and they went right in.
Smaller.
Yeah,
one.
in
See?
fact, I went and bought some.
Did you?
Yeah, because Steven did that with his, and I went to get those drill bits. It's such a small hole, you can't just go to the orange store or the blue
No.
store.
Yeah.
You have to, or the red store. So I went to the specialty place and a machine supply place and bought these little tiny drill bits, which won't fit in your truck, by the way. They're so small. So I should have gotten some kind of. So I had to grab some needle nose pliers and push them through there a little bit just to clean
what
it out.
size were they numbered? Were they numbered bits? What size were they, Jason?
I
imagine
could go
they're-
grab them, but I can't remember. And it was only like a week ago.
Yeah.
That's-
Just what fits in the hole. It's pretty small. But the carburetor thing kind of was through the summer. But this was the kicker. I was asking Steven. I sent Steven an email and said, "What do you think about this?" Because he'd done such a great job in the videos, and I hadn't watched him in a while. So I should have watched him again before I sent him an email and bug him with the email. But I sent him an email, and he asked me a couple things, and I asked about the engine. I said, I'm thinking about rebuilding this engine. And he said, Steven said, maybe you shouldn't, don't worry about, maybe hold off on rebuilding the engine. Just, have you checked the compression was the question. And that, for some reason, that just rang so loud in my head. I was like, I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying to solve what's going on here. I'm just, I need to get out of my way, of, I don't want to get greasy. I just want to drive the thing.
Yeah.
So finally I said, no. His question, he asked like 3 or 4 questions, and I was like, it's stupid. He shouldn't have to ask those questions. And then it got quiet. I was like, I got to go to work. So I had seen some websites where people started cleaning greasy parts with cleaner. I guess I could say the name. There's nothing wrong with me saying the name of that cleaner. It's Simply
we'll
Green.
get sponsored.
Yeah, maybe. I did. Yeah, Simply Green. I saw people cleaning car parts with Simply Green, and I was like, "What? No way!" And so I went and bought some, and I had like a 30 sometimes or 50 mix, 30. You know, I different dilution rates. So I took that carburetor, and my first test was I'm gonna take this carburetor, I'm gonna throw it into a little bucket of that diluted.
Yeah.
And left it overnight. Got up in the morning, pulled it out of there, and it had been stripped. I couldn't believe it. I was so amazed because, you know, on the side of the bottle it says you can wash your clothes with this stuff.
Wow, really?
You know, yeah. If you start reading it, I was like, "What is this?" So I gave up immediately. Spray cans of whatever cleaners,
Yeah.
and just started using it. And so, because of his questions, I immediately went out. I took those spark plugs. All 4 of them kind of looked the same, and I threw them I just threw the whole spark plug in a bucket of that stuff. And then I took a spray bottle and, you know, a quart spray bottle and just started spraying the engine. And I would soak it all over the place. And then that's the same spark plug.
Yeah.
I would just spray that stuff on the block. And then I would go to working on something. And as it, you know, was hot, it would dry out. I'd spray more. And I just kept it wet all day long while I was working on different things.
Yeah.
And then I went under there with a nylon brush, like a scrub brush, and putty knife. And I just, and here's the secret sauce. Where's all this oil going to go? All this gunk that I'm cleaning off the car. I went looking for an oil pad or something at Napa or, you know, AutoZone or what, O'Reilly's, any of those places. And it was really expensive. So my secret was I went to Costco.
Cardboard boxes.
I bought puppy.
You bought a
pad.
new refrigerator.
Yeah, puppy pad. You know, training pads.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
That's what I use because I'm using this green cleaner. You know, it's not going to hurt anything. What's going to hurt stuff is what I'm taking off my engine. So
Yeah.
you know, like you can get it on your hands, and I used it to clean my hands. But you know, it's the hydrocarbons that you're collecting in the green soup, you know, that you should be concerned with. But anyway, in this case, I just set those puppy pads out underneath the car, and just it caught everything all day long. Me spraying it.
That's a great idea. Like, how much does this cost, Jason?
It was like $17 for a box, and I
Forget
got
about
so
it.
many. Yeah. So that's the poor man's oil cleanup.
I love that you documented with so many photos. That was a great idea.
Yeah, there's one of the front, Stephen, of the front of the engine with the radiator removed, and there's 2 side. Yeah, I see it right there, and that's after. So you can see there's a little bit of flash rusting right there.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's just stripped it down, and you can see the colors. You can see the colors in the wire, right? That blue wire. That was amazing to me. I can still see the colors. It just cleaned it off so well.
In that marker wire. That stuff works really good. Holy cow, Jason!
That was amazing.
It is amazing.
There's a before somewhere in there, kind of the
I'll
same
see if
shot.
I can find it.
I use that same tracer wire for antique engines, for like antique fans and lamps, and so they had the same tracer type wire. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the green and red, black, whatever tracer. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, you know, it kind of, you could tell it, you know, frayed the wires and everything. But what I did was, after it had been there all day, at the end of the day, I just hosed everything off. I just took the hose and sprayed it.
Yeah, so it's not like it's never seen rain before.
No, it's greasy. I mean, it's pretty much waterproof with all that oil on there.
If I just go, we don't have to go back, but I just want to make a comment about your spark plug. I had a comment, kind of a discussion with somebody a couple days ago about spark plugs and heat ranges regarding Model T spark plugs.
Heat ranges on Model T Spark. Okay.
And I'm like, are we being serious here? We literally have an electrode going down the center, which is a positive contact point, to a ground contact point. Nobody was concerned with heat ranges back then. Heat ranges, like, I guess if you were running it really rich, you would go for a hot heat range on a plug, which is, just if nobody knows about this, and I'm assuming everyone who's in here does, a hot plug is one with less insulation that gets hotter to burn off the carbon, and a cooler one has more insulation. But in 1924, there was no discussion about heat ranges of plugs. My God.
Oh,
Like, what are we talking about here? Jesus.
Yeah.
now there are lots of different plugs, but I'll be really surprised if they make any difference to how a Model T runs. Like,
Exactly.
seriously.
Yeah, the notion of tolerance is kind of limited, right? They were there. They were there, but
A Model T engine will run if you take a big lighter and hold your thumb over the hole.
Right.
Exactly.
It's so funny.
And it doesn't even have to be gasoline.
No.
yeah. Well,
People get moving into the minutia of things. It's mind-boggling.
before I cleaned it up, and literally I fired it up like 2 days ago. So when I did, it started right up, cleaning up the spark plugs, fixing the timing wire, all of that.
You rewired, Jason? Sorry, did you?
I did. I just on the spark plug wires and the front, from the generator wire, that little bundle of wires, I replaced that. I bought a whole kit.
Oh, did you redo the timer? Because I noticed you had a lot of bare leads there on the timer.
Yeah, all those wires are new.
Okay.
And I don't know if there's a photo of the new.
Yeah, I don't.
Somewhere
see
in there is a wide one, maybe.
That's an original timer by the look of it.
Yeah, but it's the original style anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's after I cleaned it up.
Roller style and yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, it
this
looks
one's
really good shape.
it's not worn at all. It's really
No, really nice shape.
So it says to put oil in there. There was a little bit of grease, and so I'm like, do I want to put grease in there? Or do I want to put oil in there? I'm not sure.
Two gallons.
So what happens?
Oh no! In this there's a little cover, right? The cover has a little oil hole in it, right?
Yeah. So when your Model T is new, you have to oil it pretty regularly. This is probably the highest maintenance point on a Model T. But when your T gets older, the seal on the camshaft here starts leaking, and it self-oils.
It does all the oiling.
But seriously, the older your T is, the better the timer works.
I see. Okay.
Actually, you know what, Stephen? I put a brand new copper plate in mine when I first redid the timer. And when I put the New Day timer in, I took that copper plate and I threw it in the garbage. I just left it like that. I'm like, forget it, whatever.
Yeah, I didn't play with it. I just I'll leave that.
Yeah. Well, I wonder, like this stuff is in such nice shape that it puzzles me. Like, was there an earlier repair done on it, or
maybe I have it could be. I have a sneaking suspicion that the shape of the carburetor, the stuff inside the carburetor, I think that stuff somebody had rebuilt it at some point.
Yeah. But I mean, you can go from a great running project, a great running engine, to a couple years later, like Randall's snowblower, just not working at all, right? Like everything goes south in a hurry.
Yeah.
Well, like once you got this one cleaned up, it's surprising. It seems to be in really good shape. Like,
Absolutely.
did you ever measure the compression? By the way,
I did.
Yeah.
I was at 32 pretty much across the board.
That's good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but it still smokes, so it's got to be the valves, right? Or maybe there's a little blow by on the rings.
Probably rings.
It's probably rings.
Oh, rings.
Mine has bad rings, but really good valves, and I'm down to 25 on my compression. But mine doesn't smoke, so I don't know.
Jason, is yours smoking out the breather or out the back end?
At the back end.
At the back end. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
it's
me
definitely-
think exhaust valves, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But,
yeah. So I guess to go back, so this is a great shot. So I'm looking at this, and this is back in the spring, and I start, okay, where am I going to go? What do I need to get? We talked about the upholstery and some springs and seats and stuff. We had talked about that last time. Yeah,
Sorry.
I like
don't
it.
mean to keep derailing, but I gotta give some.
Oh, so before we go on, somebody else had asked if you had driven it yet, Jason, and you just kind of finished up 2 days ago. Is that what you said?
Well, I haven't driven it since I fired it up. And the reason that I haven't is because I pulled the seats out. I pulled I could sit on the gas tank, I guess. So Ben, yeah, it's so this summer it's been pretty stationary. I took it out sometime in May, and discovered I wanted to try out the fuel line and the carburetor and all this stuff, but having played with it, I got stuck in the neighborhood, so I had to tow it home.
Oh, why? Like it just died, or what happened there, Jason?
Yeah, there was fuel was not getting into the carburetor. And
Oh,
so-
back to that problem again.
Yeah, so that was right off in the beginning, and that was before I started the carburetor project.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
That's
Right.
why you
So
did
that's what kicked it off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay,
That
this
makes
kind of sucks being stuck. So, I wasn't even that far away from home, and it was running really rough. And it was probably the needle in the beginning, way back then, because I had been tinkering and playing, and I probably didn't reset it. But I
You knew
wasn't.
you were gonna get stuck. You knew you were going to get stuck away from home. You knew it before you left. You knew.
Let's just go. And it was funny.
Right.
And Randall may appreciate this. When I started this, it didn't really have any brakes. It didn't really have any parking brakes. I was like, but that doesn't matter because I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go. So we'll worry about stopping when we're going. So,
I totally
That's,
understand that. When it,
that was
An
my.
anchor and a piece of rope.
Yeah, that's it. So going was the goal. But yes, I have driven it. I drove it a little bit, and then I started the project, and I haven't driven it since I fired it up last a couple days ago.
How?
This,
Sorry, go ahead, Stephen.
Oh, I wasn't about to speak actually.
No, I thought you were.
Just nodding away.
How have you not? Are those hoses leaking? How have you not got those clamps leaking? I cannot
Well-
get those. Stop letting stuff leak.
well, I'll tell you. At first, when I first put them on there, I kind of expected them to leak. Because I was like, I don't know how tight these are, or it's kind of cooled down, so that's not. That rubber has a lot of nylon built into it, so it's pretty rigid. It's pretty rigid, and I thought, well, it's going to have to get hot before I can really clamp this down. The only one that's remaining a slight leak. It's like a drop every other day.
Yeah, not
is-
pouring.
Yeah, it is the top hose, the bottom, yeah, that one right there. There's just a little drop. And so I wanted to heat it up, get it hot, and then clamp it again. Or
I've had,
I need to adjust
Yeah.
where the clamp's location is.
there's a little known fact that the clamps on those hoses on a Model T have to be to 745 foot down.
Yeah.
Get 'em to quit leaking.
You go until they snap, and then you
Yeah.
replace them, and you go until they almost snap.
and then you put on hose clamps.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You know what, Jason? My identical one leaks. It's same as yours. Mine leaks too.
Okay.
Same one.
Yeah. Well, so back when I started that, back in the spring, I started looking into, well, what am I going to need? Yeah, hot clamp. When it's hot, I will play with it some more.
Yeah.
I'm just replying to some of these
Glenn.
regular fluid changes. That's true. Yep, it's time. So I, in the spring, I kind of got into this lull where I wasn't really doing anything in the car, and I was watching videos and watching things and just kind of reading about things. And I got concerned with, if I get this upholstery done, I need to kind of keep it dry. So I'm going to need a top. What's that going to take? And I was on the search for, I need bows. I need the whole top. Nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing. So I started doing that. And one of the gentlemen I spoke to in California started asking me about the year of my car, which 1922. And then the top, how, is it a one-man top? Is it a two-man top? And he's like, it sounds like it's a two-man top. And he asked me about the top, and I said, no, that's not what I have on my windshield. The top of the two little points on my windshield.
Yeah.
And he said, well, no, that sounds like a one-man top. I'm like, okay. And he says, so what year car do you have? And I said, well, 22. And he says, okay. So I called and I spoke to Steve over at Lang's, and I started asking some questions. And so he had me do some measurements, and he asked me the width. He said, go into the engine compartment. We're going to go to the firewall side, and we're going to measure the width of that.
Oh.
And I said, okay. So we did that. And then we measured then he said, why don't you go inside of what's it called? The cockpit.
Yeah.
Look in there and look down by your feet, and there are two pieces of metal or wood that bolt the sides together. So go from the side panel to the front, to the firewall. And he says, are they wood or are they stamped steel? And I said, they're stamped steel. He says, you don't have a 1922. Right? You're too wide. The front of the car is too wide by 4 inches. So a 22 is like a 24 inch, and I have a 28. I think that's it. So that was a clue there. And then he said in 25 they had the metal pieces to tie the sides together inside, down by your feet.
Where did you get the initial inclination that it was a 22?
Well, it's
Serial
on
number
the,
on the
title.
Oh, it's on the title. Right. Gotcha.
On the title. And we had the gentleman I bought it from, Mike. His title. He had an old title that's like an old Ford title for it, and it said 22 on there. So he says it said 22. I talked to him about it, and I said it's not a 22. It can't be. And the engine, I thought, and we had spoken about here, that I had a 1925 engine.
Yeah.
Based on the code. So I thought it had been swapped out. No, it's a 1925 car.
Gotcha.
The only people I don't want to know about this is the state government, because the rule is if you have a 19 or early car, you can get a plate for the year that it was manufactured.
Yeah.
And you can run on that. So I have a 1922 plate for my 1922 car.
Yeah.
It's not. It's 1925. And I paid some good money for that plate, so we're sticking to 22.
We're sticking to 22.
Yeah. But
the whole time you didn't think it was a 22.
No, I thought it was a 22.
Oh, you did.
And I thought at some point someone swapped out the engine for a 22.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's what I believed. Well, okay. So they had a problem with the engine. They put a 25 in here, and that's it, right? Bob.
Okay, now,
we're done.
So let me just ask this question then. If it's a 25 engine, I think, guys, you can confirm this or deny it. Did they not start stamping the frames in 25, or was it 26?
26.
26. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Too bad, because you'd have that tie-in, right?
Yeah, that's right. Because I would have looked. Because
Yeah, you looked.
So anyway, so yes, it's a 1925. I went back and looked at all my parts that I had collected up and thought, do I have the wrong pieces? Everything I have is fine for my 25, even though I was 22. So I didn't break any issues there.
No cardinal sin. No.
No. Well, it's like, why doesn't this fit? Well, it doesn't fit because you have the wrong year.
Yeah, this guy's a hack. He's just putting something in.
Yeah. Sure, can't do that. So Stephen had pointed out last time that top hose was crooked, and in this case, it's a little crooked, but that's probably an adjustment situation.
That sounds like Steven. Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds
he's like, that's crooked, and it was. And so what I learned was on the front of the engine, someone had taken instead of just having the hose where I don't know what it's called, the radiator riser piece there. Instead of that just going up to the radiator, it had what Steven has on his car, a different kind of pulley device. In 26 and 27, they had an adjustable piece put on the front there, and it hung from that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was on there, and the pulley was hanging on that, and that's not a 25 part. But
Do you have a photo of that, Steven? I'm trying to figure what
Well,
that.
this is the 25 arrangement where the pulley mounts on an arm that bolts down to the front of the engine. 26 and 27, it's a different casting for the connection nipple here that has a bulge on it for the pulley mount.
yeah,
Yeah.
and actually, if you watch Steven's intro with his car going along and he's got the engine running, you can see it perfectly well. When I was watching it as we started tonight, I was like, "Yep, that's what I took
That's
off."
what I figured was going on. I
Great,
figured you
Steven,
had that.
because my engine's a 24 and it's got the same arm for the pulley.
Yeah, that arm had been removed.
Gotcha.
So anything you see that's fancy new black is a new part.
Okay.
That's my satin finish there. So and then I rebuilt the pulley. I rebuilt that pulley, and that's an original Ford part. I was surprised that Ford put aluminum on anything.
They actually had a lot of aluminum on their really old cars, and then
Really?
it kind of went away. Like the first Model T transmission covers were all aluminum.
Oh, really?
Huh. Well, yeah, and I have a story about that too. But yeah, so it says Ford stamped on it. I was really surprised. I thought that was going to be some kind of aftermarket part, but it's
Yep.
not.
How was the alignment? How did you end up with the alignment? Was it pretty good, Jason, between the top pulley and the crank?
Well, that took a few belts.
Oh, I did. Okay.
Yeah, so I measured. I took a string and went around it, but I probably
Oh,
didn't pull it
sorry.
tight.
I don't mean the circumference. I mean like the up and down, the alignment of the top pulley to the bottom to the crankshaft pulley.
Oh well, so that that arm definitely pulls it up, and it's pretty straight now.
Oh.
I ended up with a 29-inch belt,
Okay.
but my first belt was too short.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the blade and equaled it in the radiator.
Yeah.
Because the short blade, I was like, this can't be right because the fan blade wanted to hit the radiator hose down at the bottom.
Oh yeah. So you're saying that's too far that way short.
Yeah, right. It was pivot too far, and so I was like, okay, that's not going to work because that's kind of the standard hose, or a standard belt. So I measured with a better string, and the first one was a 27, and that 2-inch difference put I put the fan blades, right even, and tightened down the arm and said, okay, because you can see that's what I've done right there in that picture. And I turned the blades so they were, and I was trying to center it, maximize the radiator and make sure I'm not hitting anything.
Definitely, yeah.
The only thing that was scary was when I got the 29-inch belt and put that on there, the other side of the belt from this picture, the other side of where it goes down,
Timing arm.
the timing cap, right?
Uh-huh.
Was so close. I was like, am I going to rub this thing? And I remember seeing an option as a 28 3/4 belt. And I thought, okay, is that the sweet spot? So
I
got the
feel your pain. I had the same thing on my 26. You'd think you just look up the catalog number and order the belt, but I had to buy 2 or 3 before I found one that fit properly.
Yeah. So, and I got the little ribbed belt. I was like, it's a little more expensive, but
Okay.
it's the micro ribs or whatever they're called. It was $20
Yeah.
for the belt.
That's cheap.
And that when I actually tightened it on and adjusted it and everything, it just works. It just fits between, nothing's rubbing. But I will say that timing bar, the adjusted timer, that is a feat.
Getting that thing the right length is
Yeah. So I knew I didn't have that. I didn't have that radiator on, but I knew I was going to go under it, and I knew that I didn't when I pulled the timing lever, that I didn't want it to rub on the bottom of the steering wheel, line
Right.
down there at the bottom. So this is fine working of it, and it was kind of bent out of shape anyway. So I don't have a vise that I can use or a bench or anything, but I do have an old chain bolted to the concrete around what was going to be a garage.
Yeah.
And I would slide that in through that chain that was stuck, right where it's bolted to the ground, and I would tweak it and tweak it and I'd tweak it and tweak it. And I took a picture of someone's offline. I found what it looked like, and I was like, okay, that's what it's supposed to look like. And I just tweaked it, and it took me probably an hour
Yeah.
of playing with it till it got to the sweet spot. It doesn't rub on the shaft going down from the steering wheel, and it doesn't rub the pipe, and it turns the right amount, and I have full movement. And it's just
That's perfect. Perfect.
lot of tweaking, but it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if modern cars had some instruction like Ford has
Yeah.
in their
Oh
manual?
my
Just
God.
take it off and bend it until everything works right.
Yeah,
Put it
it's
against
crazy.
your knee and bend it.
Bend it.
Yeah. So yeah, I got that. So this is like through the summer, me cleaning and adjusting all this stuff. So it looks like a dirty engine. The only thing I didn't clean actually was the top of the head. You can see it looks dusty up there. You can see the backside got cleaned a little, but I didn't bother with that. It's just dirt. What else did I do? Oh, so yeah, as I got to doing this is after I got it cleaned out and everything is off there. I took off that, you see this accelerator linkage. It had an upgrade, was the accelerator in the floor. I took that off.
Yeah.
And I took the water pump off
And the fuel
because Randall said, take the water pump off.
pump. You're responsible, Randall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he pulls over on the side of the road with steam
Yeah.
coming out everywhere.
Randall.
Randall driving from Salt Lake City, Philadelphia.
He
That's
said
funny
that
because
was-
I put one on mine last summer. I don't have the correct radiator in mine. That's why I put it on.
Okay.
Right. That's right.
Sure, I'll remember you said that. So yeah, I took all that off and just got it down to the base bits and cleaned it off. And of course, it looks kind of rusty now because it's just bare metal. But yeah. Now, if you can peek, if you look below all of this, if it shows up here in my video, you see some welding down there on the bottom of the pan, the oil pan. Is that just called an oil pan, the whole thing?
The whole bottom is called an oil pan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's the small opening underneath there.
Yeah, that's just an inspection cover, yeah.
Right. Okay. So I've been referring to it as an oil pan because that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, but it's cast iron and it goes
Yeah.
right from the front, right? That V
Yeah.
you see down
So
here.
In this
You-
case, it's
There's
pressed
some
metal.
welding on there, or saw, or where is the welding you're talking about, or Jason?
Okay, right where the pulley comes out of the front of the shaft. You see a little shiny spot down there.
I don't
Is that
see
right
it.
here?
It's
Sorry,
just
you
right in the
can see
little
my pointer.
corner.
Yeah.
Where's your? I don't see your cursor.
Yeah, sorry, I can't. This one I can't do. Make it a little bigger.
It's just to the left of the pulley. You'll see a little shiny
Oh.
corner there, right?
Okay, yeah, sure, I see
Yeah,
that.
it looks like lead or something. So I actually scraped it. I was like, "Is that just some lead?" Or no.
Make this bigger.
There's another video that I have of when I started and I kind of tuned the carburetor a little bit. I go underneath and there is so much brass. This thing has been brazed up so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But once I cleaned all the oil off of it and grease and stuff, there's so much brass under there, and it leaks like a sieve. That I think I might need a new one. I don't know if there's-
You got to make sure you get the one that's flat. The
Yeah.
oil pan.
yeah, I've heard
tends to
about this.
bend, and I should have probably bought it at Hershey. There was actually a jig for flattening those,
Oh, really?
but it's a big thing. It take up half my garage.
And I had that
Sure, if
question.
you ask around, you can find somebody who has one. So even if you do buy a bent one cheap, you can straighten it.
I had that question originally, Jason, when I started cleaning the oil pan and stuff like that underneath mine. And I'm like, holy cow, look at all the brazing going on down here. And what I found out was they were brazed at the factory.
Yeah, they did a lot of brazing of the
Really?
factory because the castings were porous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't assume right away that's
Discard
error. It may be actually that like that from the factory. If you have some better, like some good photos of it, send them to Steven so we can look at them. But they did a ton of brazing everywhere to reinforce and to fill in porosity and things like that.
Okay, maybe that's it. There's a lot around the mounts, the engine mounts that kind of come
Yeah.
up
Oh,
around the
yeah.
sides.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
That's
brass.
fact.
Tons, yeah.
Okay,
What did Ben notice here? A hole in the manifold.
manifold. Oh, the intake manifold.
Oh yeah, right there.
Hey,
So
yeah.
so you can see that fuel pump is that cylinder on the firewall, and
Yeah.
it had a line that used vacuum. The vacuum was created by the intake manifold to make that pump work, that fuel pump, which I've saved. I've saved all of that.
Which
Um,
fuel pump are we talking about? Is there a photo of that?
Yeah.
You'll see it here in the video, right
Right
on
on
the
the
left
left.
side. That vertical canister. It's
Oh,
a vacuum fuel pump from either aftermarket component or from a
Oh.
different car.
Yeah, no,
Right.
it's an aftermarket. Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked
and,
about that in some advertisements, didn't we?
Yeah,
Steven?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that works. That pump works fine, and we'll see about putting that back on if
Cool.
I have trouble going up some steep hills.
Yep.
But
Yeah, you won't as long as you've got half or three-quarter
Yeah.
tank of gas.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
yeah,
Wow.
Ben
Wow.
is saying lots of 20s cars had those
Yeah,
fuel pumps.
and I-
Especially if you look at any of the old cars that had the fuel tank behind the rear axle, they all had one of those vacuum pumps.
Man, look at that starter. You must be made of money.
what?
It's got an electric start. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
smart.
That's right. Yeah, only the finest for my candy ass. So
It feels nice, Jason, to have all that grease off because you can really see what's going on.
yeah, and honestly, this is the after I fixed it video. There's no smoke. You see, the smoke is.
Oh, yeah.
It'll something will come through there in a minute and start smoking. So there's my bullet holes, and then you can see this thing is leaking crazy under here. So that's one leak right there. See it just dripping.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's nothing.
And
That's
then this
dust
one,
control for the
this one right
road.
here is like drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
It's funny because I don't know if I caught much of a drip on this, but you can see. I mean, I was only running for a few minutes.
Yeah, that is quite a lot.
Yeah.
Now,
it's a
If
lot.
you've got cotter pins on all the nuts, this doesn't apply, but you might find that just some of those bolts are a little bit loose
Yeah.
from age.
Yes, I should go around and see if I can
Just
squish
snug
down.
them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
Now look at this, the amp meter. If you watch that, see how it's running. If you hear the audio, if the audio's on, you can hear me.
Okay.
I'm revving up the engine now. And see
Oh,
how-
wow.
uh,
goes the wrong way.
The wires reversed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your ammeter wires are reversed.
Backwards. Yeah. So I gotta figure out what
You just
happened.
need a little mirror that you mount there, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't know where, because I don't think I've done anything in there. You can see the wires here. I just did these front ones, and then this generator wire.
No, I didn't get a reverse on the ammeter. Oh,
Yep, and behind the dash.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's good diagrams online how that all runs.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been
That's
reversed.
looking really good, Jason. Wow.
That sounds great.
yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So see the needle in the carburetor here. See how the threaded piece. That is super tight, and I'm not sure what to do about that.
So the
locking.
part with the hex on it that you tighten in?
Yeah. So without the needle. So I looked inside. There's no threads in that little nut, right? It just
Yeah.
slides through, and the idea is you tighten it down and it compresses. from the best. Just
Yeah.
that just looks like the engineering. But I've noticed even in the manual that there are threads showing, so you don't have to screw it all the way down.
Yeah,
So-
don't get crazy. That's just a holder for the jet
needle.
needle. Yeah.
As long as the needle doesn't like jump up and down if you lift it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? As
It doesn't
long
do
as-
that, but so I have the rod that comes down through the dash.
Yeah.
When I try to use it, I can get a half a turn, but it won't go any further. I can't seem to get the angle to go.
Oh, I see.
But so when I turn that needle, it's kind of tight. It doesn't just freely move, which is probably good. But if I try to back it out, it unscrews the nut.
Oh.
Okay.
So I have to like tighten. If I make an adjustment, I have to tighten the nut back down. So that's that. These are
That
the
all
little
looks
things
like
that
new parts, so it's probably got a burr in there or something. So
Yeah. And I used my to get it to screw in there. I used in order for the needle to be able to go through the nut. I used needle nose pliers and set the nut upside down and stretched it out so that I could I could get
those
the
feel
needle
like
through.
something's too tight in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I need to. I didn't clean that out. I didn't clean the threads out of that. So maybe I need to run a tap through it.
Yeah, you could chase it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
So
What did
Russ
Russ-
is asking about battery polarity. Maybe that's causing your ammeter going the wrong direction. Are you running
It's-
negative ground or positive ground?
It's negative ground.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
a breaker T. Yeah.
So
that's-
yeah, it was the ammeter was working fine before I started pulling things apart. So
Oh,
so
Did
at
you
least
cut-
on the battery side,
did you have the ammeter pulled out of the dash?
no, I haven't.
Well, that is weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to look at the diagram and see what's going on.
Oh,
But I was like, what's going on with this? So yes, I did the same thing. Well, it's running backwards, but it's running. So yeah, I got to that. I have a 25. And what else was I going to tell you? Oh yeah. So I bought some. I don't know if any of you, Randall, maybe you know, maybe these are fender irons for the rear, right? They mount onto the body like this on either side.
yeah.
And then this end goes out and mounts underside of the fender, comes across this. One of them is straight, so it comes out just like that off the side of the car. The other one has a bend in it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't look severe, but I thought I would try and straighten it. And I was wondering, I've looked online and people talk about this. Oh, bend it cold. And then I hear, bend it, get it hot, which is what I would think would be right. But, you know,
Both will work just fine. It'll just take a lot more force when it's cold.
yeah, I just didn't know that it.
It's just
will it
ductile
hurt?
iron. It'll be fine. Yeah. It's not cast iron, so you can bend that one.
Just hit it with a big hammer; it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm serious. Just
And you don't need a water pump.
Yeah, and you don't need to water. Got it.
I
hear you,
I'm
Randall.
the guy that straightened his connecting rods with a hammer. So if they'll
Yeah.
take it, that will.
Okay, so I'm going to be a little more bold with this. They're hard to find. I found these on eBay. I found some since. People want to charge a lot of money for them. But I don't know. I guess you could use them for a coat hook if you needed.
I don't think you'll have any trouble as long as you can get it
No.
rigged up and get. I prefer steady force rather than a hammer, just because it's controllable. But that's just me. Maybe
Yeah,
you have to see what you've got to work with, right? You've
Yeah,
got
I
the
kinda-
crane in the ground. That's a start.
yeah, right. That might work. I was hoping to find someone with a very heavy table and a very big vise.
Yeah.
And then so these are the things I ran into, and I kind of showed you before we got started here, Steven, this stuff here, and I'm putting it up here because I kind of think it's a safety thing. I mean, people are using Teflon and stuff around their fuel lines.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's backwards.
No, it's good for us.
Oh, you can see
Totally
it backwards for me.
Yeah.
But this stuff is safe to use with fuel. It's basically pipe dope for fuel lines. I would look for it. That's what it's for, and they use it on propane tanks, and fuel lines, and fixing heavy duty fuel lines, fuel trucks, that sort of thing. And you can find the stuff. So people are like, well, you shouldn't use Teflon. That's not really great. Everyone has a thing, and I was like, no, there's got to be something. And this stuff, that's what it's for. It is pipe dope for fuel lines. So, when it comes to safety, I think that's kind of important to kind of put out there. There is something that
makes good things about that product, Jason. So I think you're right on the money on that one.
Yeah. I knew there had to be something, and I found it. So, and then this is my current project. I am putting.
Oh, let's get back here.
My current project is putting the tack. Let's see. Let me pick that. The tack strip around the top of car.
Yeah.
I can't get the upholstery done until I fix that problem. And I went and found this. There's guys down in North Carolina that make wood. They make them for all kinds of cars, wood cars for everything, almost. And but this has been it's definitely a fit. You have to find the fit, for that, because it goes. They got it pretty close. They've got some old jigs for making these. I was concerned no one had any good pictures online, but you can see the profile here.
Yeah, I see that.
It
Yeah.
has that round. Let's see. Maybe this side's a little better.
Make too big there, just like I'm having trouble keeping up.
Sorry. It's got this profile, which is correct. You can see it, and it does fit right in the same spot. And I was really impressed. I was nervous. Like, what is, I know that there's a plastic version of this. And I was really nervous that, man, it's hard to make. That's not an easy piece to cut out of a piece of wood. So I didn't know what I was going to get, but those guys are doing a really good job down there. Classic wood, I think is what they're. Anyway, I'm not. What is it? Yeah, I think that's it. They're in North Carolina. You can find them.
Good on you, Jason. That's a real finesse thing. That woodwork, that is real finesse right there.
Yeah, it's kind of, you can see it's, every car is going to be, is this straight? Is this metal straight? Is it, what?
Yeah.
But I did, so here's a trick. Some of those holes you can get to from underneath from the backside. Some of those, however, go into wood. So you're going to put a wood screw through it to hold it from the top. And I was like, well, how do I line up? How do I line up the hole? Where do I drill a hole? Because you're going to go through the wood, through the metal, and into the wood in the car.
Right.
And how do you do it? So what I did was, I took a piece of paper towel and I rolled it up into a nice tight piece, and I stuffed it down in the hole. I got it wet, and I stuffed it down into the hole because there's a couple holes that, like I said, you can't see from either side.
Yeah.
And I stuffed it into the hole. And because it was wet, I could hit it with a Sharpie and use that. It wouldn't dry out. And the Sharpie would put a lot of ink there. And then I just set the piece of wood in place, and it blotted the backside. And then I was able to drill through my blot.
Yeah,
right.
Good idea.
Right. So that's how I did that to make sure. And that screw worked out the best, actually. It's hard. It's difficult.
Yep. I'll just drag you through the ammeter situation there. And if you switched around the leads on your wiring block on the firewall, if you switch the leads on 1 and 3, you would have reverse on the ammeter itself without touching the ammeter.
Oh, okay. Wait. Yeah, maybe that's what I did. 1 and 3 is what they were saying?
Yeah, it looks like you may have switched to 2 of those because they both come out of the ammeter. One is yellow and one is yellow with a black tracer. So if you switch to 2 of those, you'd have the reverse of what you should have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just have a look. Yeah, I would say
for piping up. That's great. I'll play with it because I did remove stuff from the block, of course. So
I think probably Stephen has that schematic, and he'll send it to you. What I did, and you can do this. You don't have to do this. I did this just for troubleshooting into the future, which always is something I do just to make sure I can fix things quickly, is I color coordinate every wire on my schematic according to the schematic. If you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I color coordinate them according to my schematic so I can quickly troubleshoot them. But I think those are the only ones that are related to the ammeter. A yellow and one's a yellow and one's yellow and black on 1 and 3, and those would be the only ones that you could switch around, and they would give you reverse.
And I did remove them, and they are yellow and black.
There you go.
Yeah,
But that's kind of discriminating against those of us who are colorblind. Shouldn't we number them or something?
Just
you want
you.
to put.
Just
You
you.
want to know what
Sure.
I use all black wire to screw up the guy that kids sell my cards.
It keeps them calling you back for tech tips all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's got to be the secret there with that. It's on the block.
Yeah, that's a nice job, Jason. Really nice job.
Yeah. So it's coming together. I really want to sit in it. I really want to get that upholstery done, and so we've got another week of decent weather here. I might, if I can get that tack strip on sometime this winter, I can get that other stuff on.
Yeah.
But you can see,
You have that small gap. Like, what are you thinking about that?
well, it's tighter than that. That's just me setting the place. It's
Okay.
It looks worse than it really is.
It'll snug up.
Yeah, when I was looking for parts, I noticed and I bought them just to see because I was curious because they weren't on there. But they make a metal plate for the gap,
Oh, okay.
and I'm sure that gap needs to be there for expansion.
Yeah, right.
The wood and the metal are going to change completely differently with
Yeah,
humidity and
yeah,
temperature.
Yeah. The only other thing is that I noticed everybody who sells these wood parts sells this side. The side that you're seeing there is in 2 pieces. Originally, I think it was 1 piece. They did send me a single piece, but the shape is different. And I think what I got was probably I had to call them. They kind of sent me the kit. I think they sent me a touring kit.
Yeah.
And so I think the other set of sticks that I have are really long. They have that piece, and I think that's for the second back. I think that's it. But
Do they say, like in your instructions, I've never seen these instructions, do they say that there is some, fettling required, like some fitment is required by the user? Do they say any of that stuff?
it says, you're going to have to do some fitting.
It does? Okay, good. So it's just like,
it
should bolt on perfect, don't worry about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think at some point someone said, it'll be easier to put this into 3 pieces, or
Yeah.
3 pieces to get around. Probably. I've got to say, I'm pretty amazed. It fit right in there. It's very, very close.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah. I didn't send Steven the last picture, but I have a bunch of clamps on there, just holding it on while I fit and drilled holes. So I clamped it on. I'd made the holes that I needed to make. I got it really close, and then I clamped it on for the last because that the bracket for the top goes in the corner there. It's a big cast bracket, and I wanted to make sure that was lined up properly, so I held it all in place. I actually took those corners and I just threw them in a pot of water on the stove and just boiled them for about 45 minutes.
Did you see Jason's video of his buddy doing the woodwork?
Oh, Russ.
Or Steven, yeah.
Russ is bending, which is very different than this car. It's interesting.
Yeah, but a lot of
I was like, do I want to try and make a steaming unit? And I thought, nah. I'm just going to throw it in a pot of boiling water. That probably, unfortunately, it probably sucked some oils out of the wood. I don't think steaming would do that, but any oils in the ash, because it's a piece of ash, it might, the oil or the waters turn yellow. It's this natural color, but it might have sucked some of that. I might put some kind of, oil back in there just to kind of keep it.
It's going to outlast all of us anyway. It's going
Probably.
to.
So, I mean, that might be the off. Some people. There's some woodworker out there who's going, no, But
It's only going to last 80 years, not 100. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah,
no.
that's right. So I
You
just,
gotta
I just
remem-
did it, and I made it
you-
soft. A little. It was a little softer, and I was able to clamp it down into the shape, and I just let it cool. It's been about 60 degrees here, and I just let it cool down out there. Kind of went out there with some tongs, holding it out to the car, and then I clamped it on in shape, and I just let it cool.
You're
So that's
you're
what I
going to
did.
end up with it being as good, if not better, than it was in the factory.
Definitely.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Well, here's the thing about the tack strip. When you spent the money on the upholstery, I'm like, well, I want that on there good and solid. I need to make sure it's going to hold. I don't want to be banging my head later about it coming off. Let's do it right. It's apart now. Let's see how close I can get it. And it's kind of like my yard work. I only have so much back for trenches. So let's do them once. Let's fix the water line with one time. So yeah, that's kind of what I did. And then
The cool thing about your car, Jason, is if your car is the car that I would want, and I would never put a roof on it.
well, yeah, we talked about this. A lot of people would drive around without.
I'd put a tonneau over top of it, and that'd be about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, right now I just have a cover. I don't have a garage. I don't have anywhere to do this stuff, so I'm just outside in the weather.
Yeah.
And so I just have a cover for it. But it's been fun all summer. There was a little spot there where I didn't do anything for about 2 months, and then I got to work because Steven's email. I was like, you know what? I'm not even
So-
trying. I
How's
need
that
to
for
get out
fun?
there and I'm gonna get dirty. Let's just go get dirty.
So, like overall, the entire experience, are you happy you jumped in on this? Yeah, you thinking, man, why did I bother? What do you think?
No, it's fun. It is just pure fun. I don't really worry about too much. The carburetor thing took a while, and I kind of told myself, with drying paint, I paint something, I can't use it right away. I need to let
No.
it sit. Same
Yeah.
thing with the carburetor. I can start the carburetor project, and as it evolves, I'll start something else.
Yeah.
So you kind of run around the car in circles, fixing things. And
Yeah.
then finally I was able to get it back together and start it up, and it was really great, to have
You know,
it going.
if you don't have a thing that it needs to do, it can take as much time as it needs to take, right? And
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're kind of the same as us. These are just stress reliever things. It takes our mind off the day-to-day crap that we have to deal with and just takes us away, and it's fun, right?
That's exactly it. It's just it's a toy. I'm having a good time, and I want to respect the history of the vehicle too. I like it, and I don't really plan on painting it.
Good.
But I just want to kind of keep the car going, but I had to do a little bit of wherever I'm doing a fix. I try to fix it right.
You do it right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But I'm jonesing for the chance to drive it again. I just really want to. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I'm very impressed with how you've worked through this stuff, methodically, and if it don't work out, you go down another path. I think that's what we've all done.
We all do.
Just kind of, that turned to crap. I guess that's not the way to do it. So,
Yeah, that didn't work.
As long as no one gets hurt, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
but I'm impressed. I think you're going about it the right way.
Well, thanks. Well, I'm going to keep going. It's just going to keep going, and I'll get to drive. I do want to make it an everyday kind of driver. And you're right. I don't stress too much about fixing it because I don't need it. When you're working on your own car. Yeah, when you're working on your own car, you're like, no, I got to have this by Monday morning.
That's right.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's it.
Anyway,
How's the weather in Salt Lake? What's going on out there? Is it cold? Is it warm? We're in Canada. It's getting cold. It's snowing
October
today.
was pretty wet, and it's cooled down a little bit. We're running about the 60s. It was unseasonably warm last week. We were topping out in the 70s, like low 70s, and it's been pretty dry. October was a record month. We got 4 inches of rain in October.
Oh wow!
in
Holy.
like 3 or 4 storms. That was about it.
Huh.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And now
Well,
it's been, yeah. So it's nice. It's good.
Do you think that when you're done the car, you'll take it out to the Salt Lake for us and then just do a video?
Yeah, yeah.
Drive out to the Salt Lake.
Burnouts.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
do that?
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah, I've taken lots of video. And I'm not sure what to do with it, but I have it. You know.
Well, Randall thinks he has the fastest, 1 mile time. So it's going to be able to
A quarter mile. Oh, you got to do a quarter
Oh
mile.
man, I don't
I do
know.
a quarter mile.
That low profile he's got on that's probably got a beat because I'm sitting up pretty high. You know, kind of like up here going, woo.
That'd be so
right.
fun.
5 miles an hour is feeling pretty fast.
If I don't wear a hat, I can add a second.
Speed week in Bonneville.
Yeah, it's they had a little accident out there this year, but Bonneville was very active. They had a good year for dry runs. Sometimes it gets shut down for the rain, but
Yeah.
Pretty bad accident out there. Yeah.
yeah, what?
Pretty bad accident out there.
Yeah, he lost his life out there, but
Oh.
he was
Yeah.
he was doing what he wanted to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's trying
We're
to
all
set
gonna-
records.
We want
Well,
to see you take it out there and just hold it to the floor. And
Yeah.
see how-
And you can.
Hit it, man.
It'll just equalize and putter along.
Yeah, I
That
will say,
$20 belt's going to fly right off. It's just
chug,
going
chug, chug. Way it goes. Yeah.
pieces are going and going. Yeah, I will say it is awkward. You know, you can get out there, you can actually see the curvature of the earth. So
Really?
yeah, you get a couple miles off the road when you turn off and go out there. There's a little spit of land that goes out in the salt, and you can go out about a mile. But you got about like 5 miles out onto the salt. It's smooth. It is very, very smooth out there because the tourists aren't going that far out.
right.
And you get out there, and if you take a car out there and start going, it's hard because you don't have any guides, and it starts
Right.
playing with your mind.
Yeah.
You know, am I going straight? Am I really going straight? You start looking for mountain peaks up in the distance to try and
Yeah.
the ground is coming by you so fast. You know, you're doing 120 miles an hour out there, and you're just like, I don't know if I'm going straight. I don't know if I'm going to curve. It really plays with you, and that's why they put those cones out on those races. So they set it up with a laser, and they just make a straight line, and then you have a guide because it really, you go that fast, you start to lose your sense of straight.
Well, 120, that had to be in the Mazda, right?
No, I was not sure what I was in. Something. But
What's the
I-
furthest distance? What's the furthest
Salt.
distance that you go?
what's that?
What's the furthest distance on the Salt Flats, Jason? Like, what's the furthest they would go? How many miles?
I bet you. I don't know. I've been out there pretty far. I think it's over 10 miles, probably 12,
Wow.
maybe 20 miles. It's pretty big. It's a big area. You can. It's so big that you can go out there enough and turn around and not know where you went. Came
Still
from.
don't know.
You
Just
can
gotta
get
follow your
lost.
steps back. They get lost. They count.
You
can
just
get
got to follow the shoreline until you get back to where you're
Yeah. Well, you can't drive on the shoreline.
Okay.
You'll break through into the mud.
Oh,
You want to stay in the middle, but you can walk, but you don't want to drive. But yeah, you can get out there and just lose where you're at. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, like, which way did I come from? Because all you can see is mountains now, and it's so flat that you can't see back to the interstate, which is out there. You just can't see it. So.
the mountain chain, and this is like way off topic. I get that we're way off topic now. But the mountain chain that you see, is that the western face of the Great Divide?
No,
No,
they're
it's
just
not?
mountains. No.
They're just mountains. Okay.
There's mountains. You're in the middle of the Bonneville on Old Lake Bed.
Yeah.
Used to be, and that's what you're seeing out there is you're just the very bottom of it. And that if you go far enough out, you'll hit the Great Salt Lake. I mean,
Steven, it sounds like we should make a trip out there to see Jason.
I
Eh?
think you're right.
Yeah, just come check it
It's
out.
so much fun.
Yeah,
Model
come check
T's.
it out.
It'll only take us 3 or 4 weeks to get there.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get there.
Well, what we'll do is we'll put my T on the back of your truck, and then
Well,
we'll run one of them.
You guys drive your T's down here, and we'll take the Buick.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Fury. That'll get up to 120 on the Salt Lake.
The whole thing is going to take about 8 months. We're going to get it done.
I like it. I like it. That'd be a good 8 months. Though.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you,
this
Jason.
was really interesting, Jason. Thank you for joining us
Yeah.
tonight. And
Yeah.
we'll be sure to do it again in a few months. This is fun to talk through what you've found and
Yeah.
reminisce
Yeah.
of some of the same things we've been through.
Yeah. Last time we talked, I had a 1922, and this time I have a 1925.
See, yeah, you already got 2 T's. We get Rob on that poor guy. He's got so many now.
Poor
He's
Rob.
got 3 T's now and an A. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just keep multiplying.
He's got 3 T's in one garage. I don't know where he's putting all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Right on.
A lot.
Okay, well, look, guys, thanks very much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
you.
everybody who was online and giving us comments and questions, thanks very much. That was cool. It's good
Thank
to
you.
have you with us. So I think I will run the end credits, and we'll see you in a month's time, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for everyone's comments. This is great.
You guys.
Yeah,
Great seeing you.
Thanks to my guests tonight, Randall, Rob, and Vince. Couldn't do it without you guys. Randall, thanks for the music that you made for the show. And thanks to the viewers who tuned in to listen to us old car guys rambling on about old car stuff. We really appreciate it. Good night.